Hello, everybody. It's Jeanette with JKMHand.Crafted.Jewelry, and we're just doing a little education on organic gemstones. Um, Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's had an awesome day so far. We're just going to go through some organic gemstones and how you come to get those, and what are the organic gemstones that we now know. Hope everybody has a good idea what those are, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you anyway. Pearls are organic gemstones, coral, jet, amber, and shell. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about the pearl and how you actually get the pearl. How does the actual pearl actually happen? Um, Again, we're going to talk about um, when it came about and how it comes about. Um, but back in the days when pearls were starting to be used in the Arab nations, it called pearls the tears of gods, and the pearls are created in certain shellfish, which are mainly oysters, which a lot of you probably know, and mollusks. Um, the actual pearl forms because of an irritant like a grain of salt or something that gets underneath the shell of the oyster. And what they do is they start to form um, a layer of calcium carbonate, or what's known as nacre. That's what gives the pearl its glow or its beauty. And then they do that over and over the foreign body that got into their system, and that's their defense mechanism, and that's how they create the pearl. So again, a pearl is created from an irritant that gets into the shell of the mollusk or of the oyster, and starts to form nacre around it to protect themselves as a defense mechanism, which gives us that beautiful, beautiful pearl, beautiful pearl. And and then we're going to talk about, there are several different organic gems. So we're going to now talk about another one, which is coral. Coral comes in an array of colors. It comes in a red, a pink, a white, and some blues. And again, coral is also uses the same similar type of a way to be developed. It also uses calcium carbonate, but that's the only similarity between coral and a pearl. Coral is formed by a buildup of skeletal remains of colonies of small marine animals, known as a coral or polyps. It grows in a branch-like formation, and that's how we get coral. Because what we're actually getting is a bunch of marine animals that come together, and it forms like a tree branch of um, or a coral polyp, or yeah. And so that's how we get the coral, and it's usually being found along the sea banks or along the ocean banks. Coral is. So that is two of them. And this one is probably one that you guys have never heard of. I know once I started studying and looking at gemstones, I came across a lot of things that I did not know. I didn't even have any inkling that was even a gemstone, because, normally we only know, if you're not a gemstone geek, you only know about the birthstone ones that they give you, and they don't even give you all of those. You have to really do some research to find out if there's additional gemstones that can be used for your birth month, which normally is the case. There's usually two or three that you can use. And this other one that I'm going to talk about is called jet. And jet, of course, the name jet comes into play because of the color of the actual stone, because it's similar to coal. It is also fossilized wood, and the way it becomes fossil jet, it forms with the remains of woods that would have been immersed into stagnant water for a long time, and then compacted under high intense pressure. And back in the 19th century, they used this type of a gemstone for mourning jewelry, like when somebody mourns the death of a loved one or whatever. And they did that because of the color of it, which is jet for black. And the next one that we're going to talk about, which is an organic gemstone, is ivory. And I know a lot of us know where most of the time when we hear ivory, we think about an elephant and the tusk or the teeth of an elephant. But there are other mammals that they also get ivory from. They get it from a hippopotamus, boars, sea lions, and a sperm whale. So there are several other ones that we may not know that they get ivory from. And back in the times when people used to collect ivory, and it's like a prized jewel to them, because at that time it was a way for riches for people. And ivory, as you know, is a white, creamy kind of color. It's popular in jewelry. They use it in making ornaments and a whole lot of different things. So also they use it in making like Buddha and all those other things that we see. And the next one that we're going to talk a little bit about is one of the ones that I think is so amazing is amber. It's a fossilized resin that come from trees that live, for millions of years. And amber has been used. I know you guys have seen amber jewelry. They use it for religious objects. It's been around since prehistoric times, during the time of the dinosaur. People back in ancient times were buried with amber because they said that it helps to protect the dead in the afterlife. So people would put it in their coffins and stuff. And if you've ever seen amber, you know that it comes in like a goldy or large or reddish, a gold orangey kind of color. So that's just a little bit about amber. And the other one that we're going to talk a little bit about is called shell. And you may not know what is being called shell, but if you've ever seen a cameo, 9 times out of 10 it's been done in what's called shell. And shell is the layer, the pinky white layer of shells that you find. Sometimes you'll find them on the beach, like a conch shell or a tortoise shell, or some hard, or sometimes hawk-billed turtles and stuff that you find. Sometimes you can find them on the beach when the shells come up, and then they use them, that type. They even now are making what's called shell pearls, and that actually comes from the shell of a creature, or the inside of the shell of a creature, like the conch or a tortoise or whatever other animals that have like shell that they use in order to make such beautiful jewelry that we all wear, like they also use it to make bangles. You can, really large, pretty bangles. They use shell to do that. Also, they use it to make ornaments for your hair. And they make jewelry boxes with shell. I mean, they just use it to make an array of things that we use daily, but we don't think about where it came from. This is just a shorty that I wanted to talk a little bit about organic gems. And again, those gems are pearl, coral, jet, ivory, amber, and shell. Abalone shell, like for earrings or for jewelry, beautiful jewelry that has an iridescence or fluorescence in them, that comes from what the shells of what used to be an animal. So again, this is just a quickie. You can come on back and join me every Thursday at 5:30 on YouTube for a little bit more about gemstones. Next week, I don't know yet what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting. So if you're a gemstone geek, or you know someone who is, please direct them to JKM Handcrafted Jewelry YouTube page. They can learn a little bit more about gemstones. And again, thank you guys for coming. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to JKM's Handcrafted Jewelry's YouTube. Again, thanks. Like, share, comment, subscribe. See you next Thursday, 5:30, same place. I appreciate you. Be blessed.